All right, we're going to be tying tube fly style intruder. Basically, as you can see, I've got my plastic tube on my HMH tube fly adapter. I'm going to start out by attaching my thread to the back of the tube, leaving about 1/4 inch gap for a piece of junction tubing at the end of the fly. So I'm going to fasten that on, wind my thread forward along the tube to give myself a little bit of a base to work on through the fly. Now that I have my thread wound forward to the front of my tube, I'm going to attach a Spirit River 5/32 gold eyeball. Now the reason I start out by attaching my eyes is it gives me a point to work to on the fly, as opposed to wrapping all your materials forward and realizing, hey, I don't have enough room to attach a set of eyes, therefore my fly has no weight, doesn't undulate in the water, isn't going to get down to the fish. So I fasten these with some figure 8 wraps, holding them firmly in place, and then I'll work my thread back down the tube to my starting point. Now to start the dressing of the fly, I've selected a hot pink piece of schlappen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the little chewed up bits, strip the feather so you get some nice hackle tips showing. Get all the fluffy stuff off there that's just going to get in the way when you're trying to tie your feather in. I like to tie my schlappen in by the tip. The fibers get longer as they go down the hackle, so you start out nice and short and get longer as you tie. From here, I'll stroke the fibers back and wind the hackle around the back of the tube. So from here, I'm going to select a hot orange dyed ostrich plume. I'm going to take a bunch of fibers from the ostrich, 5 or 6, and cut them from the base. I'll tie them down one side of the tube. I'll select another bunch. And tie them directly opposite of my first ostrich fibers. Now that we have our tail tied in our fly, I'm going to attach a large piece of silver holographic mylar tinsel with a few wraps of thread. I'm also going to tie in a piece of medium purple ultra wire. Now I'm going to take my mylar tinsel, wind it forward down the tube, creating a nice silver holographic body. After tying off the tinsel, you'll want to counter rib with the purple wire. And this just adds strength and a little bit of color. Now that we've wound on our tinsel body and counter ribbed with our purple wire, I selected an orange dyed guinea fowl feather. And again, I'm going to strip off all the fluffy stuff that doesn't do anything for us on this fly. The easiest way to tie in a feather like this is to grab it by the tip, pull the fibers back, leaving yourself a nice natural handle on the feather. Now that I've tied it in, I'm going to take my little handle, sweep the fibers back towards the back of the fly, and tie in a small guinea collar mid-fly. Now at this point of the fly, I'm going to tie in a material known as rhea. Rhea is a South American bird. We acquire this from a local supplier. It's all custom dyed by him. And a lot of people are intimidated by this material. It's not the cheapest feather on the market. You're looking anywhere from $14, $15, $16, $17 per plume. Basically, the easiest way to work with this is to select or just to grab on to the feathers, slowly pull them down off the stem. You will lose a few. That's okay. You can tie them in later, wherever your fly may be lacking in this material. I'm just going to pull slowly down. Break the little membrane off. Find a nice tie-in point. And I'm going to palmer this in over top of my guinea fowl.